coming in first year.
This one, this
So yeah, you go
So when
first
this
year.
is-
It was like that. Yeah, exactly. So he was the first answer, I was like, it was fun actually. And I'd like to all of you enjoyed that. And then I decided to also enter my style. I played this one.
Sorry, English talk.
Yes,
In 10 minutes, our guest of honor, Shri Ajay Jain, Secretary to the Government of Andhra Pradesh, is on his way. So we humbly request all of you to please take your seats, and we further request you to please keep your mobiles in the silent mode. Thank you.
Online inspection of line.
A warm welcome to all of you to the Economic Times Realty Convention 2015. I am Kavya R. Chavli, your host for the evening, and I welcome all of you to this fabulous gathering right here. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, we'd also like to take the opportunity to thank our partners for this evening. Our title partner, Hindware, our cement partner, JSW Cement, associate partner, Norris's, and knowledge partner, KPMG. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I'd like to invite Mr. Rishi Kapoor, Sector Head, ET Edge, to please come on stage and present the opening remarks. Can we have a round of applause? Please help me welcome Mr. Rishi Kapoor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the third annual edition of the Economic Times CLT Convention. It gives me an immense pleasure to be in the midst of the company of visionaries and leaders who have been instrumental in shaping the landscape of our country. The Economic Times Realty Convention is a power-packed four-city summit which will focus on relevant issues that are prevalent in today's context. Opinion leaders in real estate and the ancillary services would deliberate on the benefits of the cutting-edge technology, out-of-the-box real estate solution, and the issues that need attention. Today, we will be discussing about future of built environment, whether it should be high, smart, or mixed, and what will the impact of local regulatory body on the same. We will also look at the significance of innovation, design, and technology when it comes to addressing consumer delight. While we have experts speaking on the current issues, we at Economic Times will also be recognizing some of the real estate firms today for their major contribution towards the growth of the sector. For it is you who are shaping the places that define our lives, whether it's at home or office or any other place. We sincerely hope the rounds of discussions are insightful enough to give real-time value back to the fraternity. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Hindware, who believed in our vision and aspiration for the community, and they collaborated with us for this platform. Now I would like to request the expert to take the discussion forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rishi. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are also joined by Mr. Manish Bhatia, who is the president of the HSI Limited. As we are all aware that the Hindustan Sanitary Ware and Industries Limited boasts of the heritage brand Hindware being our title partner. So I'd now like to invite on stage Mr. Manish Bhatia to present the welcome remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Manish Bhatia.
Honorable Chief Guests, distinguished guests, participants, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. It's always been a rewarding association for Hindware to be associated with Economic Times. I think ET Reality represents the clearest an example of how media works on a thing which is so relevant for the development of this nation, which is reality, and brings like-minded people alike on a platform like we are seeing today in ET Reality. 2015 has been a very interesting year. The government decided to take the Smart City project initiative forward. We had Chennai floods, which is, I think, a challenge to anybody who would look at what a smart city to be. Delhi has been looking at an odd and even debate for last 15 days, which is primarily an outcome of what somebody would say is town planning, right or wrong. Kyoto summit, which happened around 2 decades back on climate control, is sort of rejuvenated with the world leaders talking at Paris on how do you look at the climate and the role the countries and nations have to play on the climate change going forward. Reality as a sector and construction in the houses that we stay in are sizable consumers of energy, and hence would always be at crossroads on some of this, the new thinking that comes in terms of way people will look at smart housing and go beyond. Also, I think we've all been active to a debate on smart housing for last 18 odd months, and some people have looked at it as giving more houses to people, but some people also have looked at it as, can it allow you to create a social fabric, a social infrastructure, a platform where people are able to make their life more convenient without adding too much to urbanization. I recently attended a summit, in Middle East, and then people talked about India being the third biggest construction hub in 2020, and more than 50% people we know in what couple of decades will live in urban cities. Now, these two are challenges as we look at creating smarter homes, affordable homes, and relevant homes for people around. I hope the summit today allows us to look at some of these topics with deep insights and come with some suggestions which will allow the industry to move forward. So I'll welcome you all again and thank you for joining. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bhatia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this evening we're truly honored to have the presence of Shri Ajay Jain, Secretary to the Government of Andhra Pradesh, Energy, Infrastructure and Investment Department, a 1991 batch IAS officer to the Andhra Pradesh cadre. And this evening we're deeply delighted that he's here joining us with his valuable presence to share his wonderful words with the gathering. So can we have a warm round of applause and please help me welcome on stage Shri Ajay Jain.
Good evening, all the delegates. First of all, I would like to thank Economic Times for giving me this opportunity to address all of you. Well, as she mentioned, I'm Ajay Jain, Secretary, Energy Infrastructure. But here I am in the capacity, I'm looking after the new capital of CRDA in Amravati. So I thought that this would be the very, very relevant occasion to mention to all of you about the exciting opportunities which are there in the new capital, particularly for the real estate sector. As you may be aware that after the division of the state Andhra Pradesh, combined Andhra Pradesh on 2nd June 2014, the residuary state of Andhra Pradesh was left with no capital. So as per the Reorganization Act, Hyderabad is the common capital for 10 years, but then we need to construct a new capital. So after that, our government took a decision that the new capital would be located between Vijayawada and Guntur on the banks of River Krishna. It's about 15 kilometers from on the banks of River Krishna, and we named it Amravati. So it's actually very old heritage city which has its genesis almost 2nd century BC. And then Cholas were there, Satavahanas were there. So it's a heritage city, and then we want to develop it now as a modern 21st century capital city. Now in the last almost 14 months, because September it was finalized, September-October 2014, many of you might be aware we have been able to acquire almost close to 50,000 acres of land. So we have the land with us, and it was acquired through a very, very innovative method which our Honorable Chief Minister Shri Nara Chandrababu Naidu devised, that is through a land pooling system, because we all know that after the new Land Acquisition Act, it's almost impossible to get the land. That too, it takes almost a period of 2 years to get the land. So we devised a system of land pooling, wherein the farmers come forward, pool the land, and then the developed lands are handed over to them. So in about 1 acre of land, we give back 25%. That is 1250 square yards back to the farmers. The developed plots of the land will be given to them. 50% goes for the common infrastructure of roads and parks and open spaces, and then 25% comes back to the government for common educational institutions, hospitals, commercial, or whatever government wants to do. So in this way, almost 50,000 acres of land, in which about 12,500 acres of land will be given back to the farmers after development. 12,500 acres will be with the government, and 25,000 acres goes. So we have now the land in position. We have got the master plan prepared with the help of Sarban and Jurong of Singapore, who have done the master plan. So it is likely to be notified by 25th of this month. So the entire capital city which has been designed is about 217 square kilometers, 54,000 acres, of which, as I mentioned, 50,000 acres is with us. Of course, the region that is the capital region development area, what we call CRDA, is a much bigger area of 8,000 square kilometers. But now the primary focus is on development of the capital city. I mean, the advantages are that it is a waterfront city, just like Ahmedabad is on Sabarmati. Here we have the 30 kilometers of riverfront is there, waterfront is available. And the best advantage is, as Mr. Bhatia mentioned, the example of Chennai, I mean, which was flooded, and then Delhi. I mean, herein we have the advantage that it is a totally greenfield city. As of now, there is, except 29 villages with about 100,000 population, there is nothing there, but only the barren fields are available. So it is like, I mean, we are starting from a stretch, and then we are so fortunate that we are doing it in 21st century when the best of the technologies are available. So I'm very happy that this convention is being organized. I would only like to request all of you to associate with it because huge opportunities exist. I mean, our idea is that this city would be designed for a population of 2.5 million population by the year 2050. That is the idea as per the master plan. And then in the first phase, that is in the next 15 years by 2029, almost, the seed capital which we call, which is about 4,000 acres or it is about 17 square kilometers, we will start the development. And then it is a blue and green city we are planning. More than 40% of the space has been earmarked for greenery. And the advantage is that because of the river Krishna, there are natural streams which are there, and then we want to create the inland waterways type, like the waterways, inland waterways channel, which we see in most of the European countries. So it's a blue and green city. That is the whole idea. And we are planning to develop the city on 9 themed cities, which has not been done anywhere in the country because, I mean, there have been very few greenfield cities in the country. So idea is one would be the government city, then a financial city, I mean, and then a economic, education city, a tourist city, a media city. So idea is that that would be the theme. Of course, within the city there will be residential, commercial, and all aspects would be there, but the theme would be that. So my request is now the plans are prepared for the government complex which we have to construct, whether it is our High Court or Legislative Assembly or the government complex. Now we are doing a design competition and the world's best 3 architects, Mr. Norman Foster, Richard Rogers, Frank Gehry and Mr. Doshi from India. So they are competing and the result will be out by January and or February first week. So they will be doing the iconic building design, whether it is High Court and this thing. And then of course the detailed designing will be done by Indian architects, and then we will be going for construction. So almost the government building construction itself is about 1 million square feet is the government building construction. 7 million square feet, 7 million square feet is the construction. And then of course the central business districts and all will have to be constructed. Huge requirement of housing for the government employees itself. About 20,000 government employees are there, which we need to construct the housing. We are exploring various ways. I mean, how to involve the private sector, whether we can go for a PPP model or a developer model in which some parts will be taken by the developer and the balance is given to the government. And then of course, because we are giving back returnable plots to the farmers, farmers would also be taking up the development simultaneously. So each farmer, as I said, for 1 acre, we are giving 1,000 square yards of residential and 250 square yards of commercial. So they would be taking up this construction. So huge opportunities, I can say. I mean, ideally this convention should be in Amravati now. I would request Economics Times to hold it in Vijayawada, this convention, because that is the area wherein you will really see the spurt of, because all the cities are, I mean, it's only brownfield development in bits and pieces. But there it would be a totally new city would be coming up. It's a smart city. It has been included under the Smart Cities program of Government of India. And then because, as I said, it's being done in 21st century, we hope to see the best of the technologies being put there. So I would urge all of you to please associate themselves, and we'll be definitely talking to you over the period of time, because now the plans have been prepared. We'll be coming out with the real. So real scope for any real estate developer, I think, I mean, the place is Amravati, and then you please come and visit the site. It's a very beautiful site. I mean, the land is with us. As I said, the foundation stone was laid by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji on the Shara Day, 22nd of October. And now after the notification of the master plan, we would be free to go ahead with the construction activity. Environmental clearance also has been given to us, and then necessary